Hey, good morning to you. What's happening? It's Tuesday. Tuesday. Hope you had a good day. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your day winds up being a fantastic day. This is Eyes on Smash Bros Radio, the only digital award-winning radio station located in Birmingham, Alabama. If you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We would appreciate you. And also download our app. You can find this on TikTok. You can find this on Instagram as well as Facebook and also YouTube. Also, as for me, you can find me anywhere. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter, as well as Facebook and also YouTube. Appreciate you coming in. Got a lot going on. A lot going on in the world. Kind of bombarding, but we're going to make it through. We're going to do okay. We're going to be okay. We got one event we got two events coming up. I need to get more information, but I'm going to give it out anyway. Smash Bros Radio and Oz are proud sponsors of the Southern Bully Showdown 2 coming up on November 9th, 2024. It's being presented by 1888 Bully Kennel. You can get in touch with DeJuan Hall at 205-460-6435. 205-460-6435. Doing a fantastic job. So please get in touch. If you wish to be a sponsor, a donor, a benefactor, if you have a food truck, or if you're a vendor, you want to participate, get in touch with DeJuan. There's still spaces that are opened, and we look forward to having you out there. Looking at the shows, looking at the dogs, canines. There are going to be 4 ICBR shows. So if you never attended a dog show before, this would be a way of understanding exactly what the breed is. So come out and support. Also, if you are having a problem with keys, if you need emergency key services, please get in touch with Emergency Keys, Dominique Waters. He's a locksmith. You can find him on Facebook at Emergency Key Services. His number is 205-997-0071, 205-997-0071. Emergency Key Services. So any type of key needs that you need, get in touch with Dominic, and he will be there in a hurry. So please keep him in mind. Put his number down, 205-997-0071. Fantastic job. The other event coming up is the annual mentoring camping trip. Sponsored by the Men's Project for a weekend camping trip, empowering young males with outdoor survival skills and team building activities. Activities include archery, canoeing, fishing, swimming, tug of war. It's June 21st, Friday, June 21st to Sunday, June 29th. So from June 21st to the 23rd is the trip. You can get more information at www.tmanproject.org. www.tmanproject.org. So please get in touch with them. Also, if you wish to donate, get in touch with Richard Cade. If you wish to donate, if you have any type of equipment and all, please get in touch with them. This is an annual. I think this is the 5th year. It's going to be over at Oak Mountain State Park. They're going to be departing from the Crescent Cultural Community Center, which brings up another thing. Listen, when you have a center, or when you have a place, a building that you can go to come together as a community, to come together as a group, keep in mind the Crescent Cultural Community Center. Crescent Cultural Community Center. They have a Facebook page. Check them out. They're always accepting donations. So get in touch with them. So the Men's Project is always accepting donations. So get in touch with them. Again, if you have any key problems, make sure that you get in touch with Dominique Waters at 205-997-0071. And also, if you are interested, and it's going to be a fantastic event. The Bully Showdown is going to be a fantastic event. So please come out and support. We appreciate you tremendously. So, you know, oof. Got a lot of stuff going on. I appreciate the parents. I appreciate them tremendously because I cannot even imagine, and really, to be perfectly honest, I really don't want to imagine because of the pressure that the parents are going through. We had our problems when I was being raised, and I'm 64, and there's just much more involved in raising a child, more than what people really wish to acknowledge. And so we have to be more conscientious. We have to be more aware of what is happening around us in our lives. And I don't know why I forgot, so please forgive me. Listen, how many times have you gone to a restaurant and you've always had to send the utensils back, or you had to clean them? Check out Forked Again. Forked Again. Check them out. They have a Facebook. They have an Instagram, and also a TikTok. So check them out for your utensils. Also, if you order and you use the code OZZz 15, OZZZ, three Z's, OZZz 15, you will receive a 15% discount. So check them out, please. So now, having one of my slow moments. So things are happening to the point to where they are bombarding us. And so with being parents, not only are you having to watch out for what is transpiring that deals directly to your home, to your family, but you're having to deal with outside forces. In some cases, you don't have any type of control over. So that's why it's extremely important that you pay attention. That's why you have to be more conscientious when it comes to I don't know what's going on. Don't know what's going on. I think I'm live now. I think I'm live now on Instagram. I'm going to get this down to where it's a science. Trust me. I think we're okay. We're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. We're going to see. What's up? 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 Good to see both of you. So we have to pay attention, and we have to pay attention to what is transpiring here at home, and what is best for home. That's when it comes down. We may not can control what happens in Washington, and we may not can control what happens across the pond in other countries. We can control what happens here in Alabama. But on the same time, we have to be conscientious that what is happening in the nation and what is happening overseas eventually is going to happen to us. And that's why it is most important that we pay attention to who we deal with, to who we elect, that it's going to represent us. We have the tendency of always voting for those individuals because of personality. has nothing to do with tickets, has nothing to do with receipts. It doesn't have to do with the ability or the ability of the office or the position. And that's why it is most important now of all that we have individuals that can represent us fully, that are going to represent what is best for us as Alabamians, what is best for us as Birminghamians. So even though we may not pay attention to what is happening in Gaza, even though we may not really want to pay attention to what is transpiring between Israel and the Palestinians, you still have to understand that the individuals that are behind the murders, or better yet, just call them terrorists, because that's what they are. You have those terrorists who control what we do here, and that is really frightening. If you were to research and to find out exactly who are the CEOs, who are the presidents of the media, of the music, you'll find out that the majority of those are Jews. Now, the problem that comes up with that is that you have the Zionists and you have the Jews. And everybody's saying, well, wait, aren't they one of the same? They are not one of the same. They're not one of the same. And it really makes your head hurt when you try to digest, or when you try to what's the word? To get an understanding between the two groups. People have to understand that just like here, you have those individuals who claim to be conservative Christians, and then you have those who are Christians. They sound to be the same, but they're not the same. Anyone who confesses to be a conservative Christian is a racist. It is what it is. And anyone who knows me knows that I do not use that term loosely. So again, anyone who claims to be a conservative Christian is a racist. Anyone who happens to agree with what Republican Party is doing needs to be examined for mental illness. And then you have those who are Christians who operate on a different faith. So when it comes to the Israeli government and when it comes to the Palestinians, you have two different groups. The Zionists are the ones that control the Israeli government, are those individuals. Let me go slow. After World War II, which was way before most of us were born, after World War II, there was a group of supposedly Jews, and we're going to use that term loosely. They were converts. They were not originally, when I say not originally, they do not have the DNA of the true Jews. So that group, after World War II, that group that was, their homeland was Poland in Germany, that group was kicked out of their country. The Germans thought that it was the Jews or these individuals' fault for the way that the government was. So they kicked this group out. This group boarded ships. They went to other countries. The other countries would not accept them. Then they wound up in Palestine. Now, Palestine, the state of Palestine has always been there. And the state of Palestine is now considered to be Israel. And I know that it's confusing, but anyone who knows, anytime white folks get involved with shit, they're going to cause more confusion instead of trying to rectify it. They're going to make it worse. So you have this group of individuals who were kicked out of Germany and Poland who claimed to be Jews, but in all actuality, they were Zionist. So to make it less confusing as possible, we're going to use European Jews, those Jews that were kicked out of Germany and Poland. We're going to classify them as European Jews. The Jews that were in the state of Palestine are what we classify as the true Jews. So you have the European Jews, you have Palestinian Jews, and I guess that's the best way to that's even more of a distinction because you get a picture. So you have the European Jews that were kicked out of their homeland, which was Germany and Poland. Kicked out. So once they were kicked out and they were put on these ships, they ventured to other countries trying to be accepted. Those other countries denied them. They arrived in Palestine. The Palestinians welcomed the European Jews into their homes. Once the Palestinians welcomed the European Jews into their homeland, those European Jews started taking over. And because of the backing of the Western governments, the United States, England, Germany, what the European Jews started doing to Palestine or to the Palestinians caused confusion. So you cannot listen to Hillary Clinton because she lies. You cannot listen to any WASP, any white Anglo-Saxon Protestant man over 70, over 50. So what does this have to do with home? It has to do with home because those individuals, those modern European Jews, are now trying to take over. And they have pretty much taken over what is transpiring in Congress. Because when you have a PAC, a political action group, funneling or giving money to our politicians, and those politicians are agreeing with what this group is telling them to do, we have a problem. Because if we were to sit down and if we were to look and be diligently at what we're looking and searching for, you would find out that the majority of things that we watch, the majority of things that we listen to, the majority of what we buy are owned by these modern day European Jews. So we may not can control what happens in Washington, but we can control what happens here in Birmingham, and from Birmingham to the state of Alabama. Now, I'm on my way out. I'm 64 years old. I give myself 40 more years. I know it's frightening, but I do. So I'm on my way out. I'm going to be cool. I'm going to be good. Those individuals who are in their 30s and 40s, you have something that you are going to have to concentrate on more so than those of us in our 60s, because it's going to affect you more than it's going to affect us. When you have a Congress, when you have a party, and let me back up, yes, both parties are corrupt. We know this. Both parties, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, both are corrupt. They're low down sons of bitches. We know this. But again, and I know but negates everything. When you have only two entities to vote, where you have to sit down and see which is the less of the evil. Same thing when it comes to the president. You have two idiots. You have two wasps, two old, decrepit white men running for the office of the presidency. So who do you vote for? Do you vote for this idiot who's trying to destroy the democracy, trying to destroy the government? Or do you vote for this idiot who has given his support to the Israeli government, has given billions of dollars to the Israeli government, who is sending arms, who has not taken a stand against what is transpiring over in Palestine, what is happening to the Palestinians? So who do you vote for? Who's the lesser of the evils? Now, some have stated that they're not going to vote, period. Well, if you don't vote, that means that the idiot who wants to destroy the nation is going to get elected. So you vote for this. And I mean, it is disheartening, and it makes me sick at the stomach that you have two old white men who are both decrepit, who are both not worth anything. So who do you vote for? Unfortunately, you vote for the lesser of the evils. Now you say, how does that affect us? Here in Alabama is going to affect us because if we don't pay attention to who we elect here in Birmingham, who we elect in Alabama, who we elect to go to Montgomery, we're going to find ourselves on a slim slope, a slippery slope, because you have one party who is trying to take us back to the 50s and 60s. You have one party that is trying to take away all social services. That means welfare, that means Social Security, that means Medicaid and Medicare. So we need to pay attention to home. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to stop voting because somebody has a fantastic personality. We have to quit voting because an individual family is in the ministry. The daddy is a preacher. The granddaddy was a preacher. The great granddaddy. Everybody in that family is a preacher. Doesn't just because you come from a family of preachers doesn't mean that the one running for an office is going to have the same values and same determination and motivation and concern for the community than their relatives. And these individuals who are running on the coattail of their relatives' past are called name brands. And that's what we are. We vote for them because they have the name. Just because someone's last name is Woods does not mean that they're worth shit. Same way with Smitherman. Same way with Hilliard. Doesn't mean that they have the same convictions, the same investments in the community. We have we vote on personality. We don't vote because of someone having the experience, having the receipts. In the past election, you had an individual who was I hate to use the word, who was a known preacher. And because of him being a known preacher, because of his dad, his granddad, his great granddad, individuals voted him in to go to Montgomery. But we knew that, and it is alleged, and it is known, and it's common knowledge that this gentleman who was sent to Montgomery is a whore. He has no receipts. He has done nothing for the district. He knows nothing of solutions. He knows nothing of the issues, the concerns, or the problems of the community, of the district, of the neighborhoods. So people voted him in because of him having the name. So now you have an individual in Montgomery who is spreading his seeds all over Montgomery. But yet you didn't vote for this individual who has worked tirelessly, consistently, knowing the issues, knowing the problems, knowing the concerns of the district as well as the neighborhoods, and have come up with solutions to take care of those issues. So it's time for us to sit back now and to look at who is running for a certain position, to see and to look to see if they're going to have our best interest at heart. See, there's a lot of questions, because see, when you have the what is it, the world games here, you had the situation with the homeless and the shelters. You had money that came up missing. You had materials come up missing. People have yet to question, well, what happened to those materials that supposedly were stolen? And what happened to that money that was allocated to build those shelters? Just because someone is likable, has this wonderful personality, just because this person has gotten married, just because this person is having a baby, just because this person can do wonderful videos, does not mean that he's capable. Just because someone has their relatives' names doesn't mean that they are invested in the neighborhood. And when it comes to the city council, how many of your council people have gone to the neighborhood meetings? How many of your councilmen have taken, and I understand they work. Now, see, that's another thing that we need to look into. We do not have a full-time council, which means that those individuals who serve on the council, they also have their own jobs. So for these individuals to give themselves raises is preposterous. You should know that when you run for an office, what those requirements are, what's the criteria for that office. And if you cannot handle your job and handle the job of serving your district or serving your neighborhood, well, then you shouldn't run. Same way down in Montgomery. We don't have a full-time legislature. We have a part-time legislature. And so why is the legislature giving themselves raises when you have teachers who need raises, when you have retired teachers need raises? You have an exodus of teachers leaving the profession, which means that you're going to have individuals who are not qualified to teach your child, no matter where you go. We need to take more time at home. You remember when Professor Dr. Angela Davis was given the award, the Fred Shuttlesworth Award, you had a certain group that were adamantly against her receiving the award. And that was frightening. That was frightening for this group to have the audacity to say who could and could not to receive the award. But fortunately, because of the love and the support for Dr. Davis, that group was put in their place. So when you know that you have a group here in Birmingham, now see, the reason why they didn't want Dr. Davis to receive that award was because her history of a long time ago, she supported the Palestinians way back then. The same, see, the tragedies and everything that is going on now has been going on for 75 years. This just didn't happen for the 7 months that it's been going on. This has been going on for 75 years. So Dr. Davis supported the Palestinians and still supports the Palestinians. Served time. So for a group to come out against this fantastic, sagacious, influential individual, that tells you right then that we have to pay attention to home, because when you have that same group that's doing all these atrocities overseas, that same group can get big-headed and think they can do the same here. That's why it is most important that we pay attention to what is transpiring here. And there's reasons, because people was asking, why aren't the HBCUs picketing, protesting, marching? Well, there could be two solid reasons. One, the HBCUs are not invested in companies that deal with Israel. Two, those individuals who have those alumni of the HBCUs, those students of the HBCUs, they don't see a connection between what is transpiring over in Palestine and what is happening here. Because it's really confusing. It's really confusing because when you look at the group, you have Jews, and that's a broad term. It's a huge, and it make your head hurt. Because you cannot differentiate, you cannot distinguish between who is a European Jew and who is a Palestinian Jew. Same way, you cannot distinguish, or you cannot tell the difference between a conservative Christian and a Christian. Or better yet, let's bring it a little bit home. You cannot distinguish per se between the Greeks. Now, there are stereotypes when it comes to the Greeks. We know that the Alphas have a certain distinguish, and we have the AKAs, and we have the Deltas, you have the Zetas, and you have the Sigma Gamma Rhos, and then you have the Omegas and the Kappas and the Sigmas. But if you were to put all the Greeks together, and if you did not know how to those characteristics per se, then you wouldn't be able to distinguish what Greek was Greek. So you have the 9, and I cannot remember the 9th one. So, don't get upset with me, because when I was at State, and yes, I went to Alabama State. Yes, I graduated from Alabama State. Surprise! When I was at State, there were only 8 Greeks. You had the Alphas, you had the AKAs, you had the Omegas, and the Delta Sigma Thetas. You had the Kappas and the Sigma Gamma Rhos. You had the Sigmas, and you had the Zetas. There was only 8 that I was raised with, that I knew about. So if you took those Greeks and you mingled them with non-Greeks, you wouldn't be able to distinguish between the two. And then if you really want to get messy, get the non-Greeks together without their paraphernalia, mingling them together, you wouldn't be able to distinguish well, maybe those of us who are more aware, but from the outside, you wouldn't be able to distinguish the AKAs from the Deltas, because those of you who know history know that the Deltas in the original time were formerly AKAs. Didn't know I knew that, did you? So then you had the Sigma Gamma Rhos, then you had the Zetas, and for a bit of history, the only true brother and sister fraternity and sorority are the Phi Beta Sigmas and the Zeta Phi Betas. So it's mind-blowing and it makes your head hurt. But to simplify it, we have to take better care of what is transpiring here at home. We have to look at who's going to represent us in Birmingham, who is going to represent us in Montgomery. And you have to do that for your children, because they are going to be the ones left behind that is going to have to deal with everything that's coming up. And just for fun, I mean, it's easy. It's easy. You have, I mean, if you have a smartphone, you can find it. If you know how to ask the question, you can get the answer. But just for fun, find out who are over the different music groups, music companies, who is over the news media, who operates all those merchandise that we buy and we use. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when you find out that the majority, 98 point, let's use 99% of those individuals that support the Israeli government. So I hope I haven't confused you more than you were already confused, because I know that I'm confused and my head hurts and it's too early to drink. It ain't too early to have a Bloody Mary, but I digress. So, but please, for the sake of your children, please be more mindful of what is happening around you. We are having too many shootings here in Birmingham, unnecessary, unacceptable shootings. There's no reason for it. The solution, I don't know. I don't know. But please, pay attention for your children's sake. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate you letting me take up your time. But if you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. Smash Bros Radio, the only award-winning digital radio station here in Birmingham. You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook as well as YouTube. And as for OZZz, you can find me anywhere. But I appreciate you. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you control everything about you. And most importantly, know that I love you more than I love my luggage. Eventually, I'm going to learn how to connect live to Instagram. So please be patient with me. I'm learning. I'm old. So give me a chance, please. But eventually I'm going to get it down pat, so then that way everything runs more smoothly than it did. So I appreciate you. Y'all have a fantastic day and be safe out there. Take care.